Hey there folks, Champesk here, bringing another audio commentary. Today I'm going to be doing a live game between Grubby and I watched about the first 61 seconds or so of this game, saw the hero choices and then decided I would restart it and do a cast. And as you can see, this is actually a game on Amazonia, which is sort of a bit, still fairly new app. I like to think of it as sort of a replacement for Terran's Stand, which was always a bit imbalanced for a couple races, but certainly it was a lot of fun. But this map has a lot of the same creeping, still has a really easy expansion for human to start off with, and it's a pretty interesting map, I think. So I think some of the creeping is a bit unusual just in terms of item drops. There's a lot of charged items, but I think it's quite nice because it means that Blade Masters are much less effective, and we are seeing the Farseer coming out for Grubby first, and the Blade Master coming out for and so that's why I decided to do this game, because obviously the Farseer is a really fun hero to watch played first in Orc Mirror. It's actually been used with a reasonable frequency in the past sort of month or so in Orc Mirror, just sort of, I think the Orc Tower Rush is coming back into vogue, and it looks like Grubby's going for no barracks attack, and so he will be building another bro shortly, probably a barrack and probably a war mill, and then probably going for Tower Rush. And unfortunately for Grubby, has already scouted this. Meanwhile going for a very standard build at this point, going for his Voodoo Lounge as well, and Blade Master out first will just be creeping out this camp. Maybe the grunts coming in now as well, and so you can take out this wizard. Obviously this is exactly like the creep camp on Terran's Stand, and the shop is pretty much the same, and there's a lot of similarities actually. It's quite nice though, because it's a bit more open. It's a bit less about sort of these snaking paths, and Grubby now running straight in with his Farseer. Obviously his barracks is just going up now, and actually his Voodoo Lounge is going up now as well. But that's going to mean that he doesn't have anything really to creep with, and so instead he's going to try and cancel his Voodoo Lounge, and actually his Spirit Wolves taking a lot of damage, but Grubby just immediately summoning them. Obviously Spirit Wolves sort of really gives so much experience. They were actually this Voodoo Lounge is going to go down. That's very nice for Grubby, and Grubby denies one of the wolves as well, and likes to try and take out this other one, but it looks like Grubby's just going to block it. He could deny it as well if it takes one more hit, but maybe he's not going to bother with that and just let the Blade Master chase him. And anyways, Spirit Wolves were massively nerfed back in Reign of Chaos, because everyone was using Farseer. They just were, the amount of experience they gave was just massively increased, and it was never decreased when Frozen Throne came out. And so to this day, I think Spirit Wolves give far too much experience, and if they didn't, I think Farseer would be much more common. But they're so weak and so easy to get a whole bunch of experience off of them. And these Spirit Wolves, meanwhile, running around. I think Grubby's gonna try and cancel maybe the Voodoo Lounge again. I'm not sure. His first grunt should be out pretty soon. It's coming out pretty soon, and you can see Grubby's tech is so far gone compared to which is just started now. So that's really nice for Grubby. It's gonna mean that he's presumably gonna go for Shadow Hunter second, and go for some sort of tower push. Then that's a really strong strategy these days. And Grubby just killing the deer there, so a bit of anger there maybe, and with those boots of speed though, he can't afford to do it because Light doesn't currently have a boots of speed, and so Grubby can really just sort of hit and run at this point. He shouldn't just be tanking like this, but Grubby actually running the Spirit Wolves right into space, not actually taking anything out, but going for a war mill of its own. Grubby has a war mill, which I assume he'll be using to build towers, early Kodos, all of that fun stuff, maybe even some upgrades, depending on how long this game goes. Generally you want to get a couple raiders out before you go for your tower push, but certainly it wouldn't be unheard of to go for sort of a really quick tower push. And finally hitting level 2. Meanwhile, 0 experience still for Grubby. Grubby is now at tier 2, is getting a Shadow Hunter second, getting a Bestiary as well, and that's pretty expected. We might see a late Spirit Lodge from him, but certainly getting that early Bestiary is so important. Meanwhile, Lake's tech's only sort of 3/5 of the way done, and his war mill is now finishing, and he might well put up a tower in his base just as a precaution against the tower rush, which I expect he will know is coming. And Grubby actually taking a bit of damage from the burrow there, but finally moving out of the way, and coming in now, and Grubby's still on 0 experience. Obviously it's not too important, or relatively important, to get the experience on the Farseer, but it's still very nice to, because Chain Lightning is actually pretty good as a nuke if you can get the Blade Master and Snare or something like that. And Grubby Shadowhunter is now out and is moving in, and obviously once Hex comes out, that's going to be quite dangerous for that Blade Master, especially considering he doesn't even have tier 2 yet, so he won't have access to healing potions, and so he could take a lot of damage, maybe even die. We'll have to see how that plays out for him. And Grubby has already got the Berserker strength on the grunts as well, 800 hit points already, and that bonus damage, and the Shadowhunter does come in, immediately goes for Hex on that Blade Master, and you can see Grubby's just going to put all his focus now on this Blade Master. Blade Master does have a route out though, and uses a Windwalk to get out of there, but Grubby uses a Dust actually, and now this Blade Master in a bit of trouble, does pick up a healing potion, gets hexed again, being forced into the back of his base, and looks like he will just be able to pop that healing potion in time, take down that grunt, and should be able to get out of there. Meanwhile, Grubby actually taking a lot of damage on his Farseer, and the Blade Master taking a lot of damage again, but has used a speed scroll this time, so will be able to get away, and Grubby with a couple low heroes. Meanwhile, you can see Like is putting up a tower in his base as expected, and we'll have to see how whether or not that actually plays a factor in the game. And Grubby now taking a lot of damage on his Shadowhunter as well as his Farseer, and he does have salves, but obviously they will be cancelled very quickly, and no ensnare yet I don't think for Grubby. The timing isn't quite right, I think it's probably 10 or 15 seconds, yeah, it's a bit of time away yet, so Grubby unable to finish off that Blade Master frustratingly, but still 0 experience on both Grubby's heroes. That's really, really bad at this point. He really should have killed something. Obviously he's done no creeping, and all this harassment, the point was really to slow down Like, but the fact that he hasn't even killed a peon or something is a bit disappointing. But Grubby now going to buy some salves, so buy clarity as well, and maybe move in for a more substantial push at this point, because he will have his raiders out. He actually, it looks, I think he might have killed a unit there. Let's take a look. Yeah, he's finally killed, he must have killed a grunt there, and so finally a bit of experience on the board for Grubby, and it only took a significant period of time. Like's already sure too. His Shadowhunter is now out as well, and looks like Grubby's going to lose both, no, only loses one of the Spirit Wolves, and Sierra now apparently is back and feels he needs to let everyone know that. And Like now is going to do some really simple creeping. He knows he doesn't want to venture too far from the base because he doesn't know when the tower push is coming, but I imagine that he really suspects that one's coming. Grubby actually doing some pretty aggressive creeping, using Ensnare on this rock golem, or sorry, on the mud golem, so he can take down the other mud golem. It's a pretty weird creep camp, this one, but gives some nice experience. And these mud golems, while they're slow, is annoying. They go down really quickly, especially to grunts, and so or actually Spirit Wolves as well, I suppose. And Grubby now actually getting a greater healing potion. That's really nice against that Blade Master, and obviously the Shadowhunter and Ensnare and stuff is going to make focusing so easy that having that healing potion is pretty nice. And meanwhile, Like just doing some creeping with his Shadowhunter, and just trying to scout out Grubby with his Blade Master. Blade Master does have a boots now as well, so he won't be in too much trouble of being killed. There's only 2 raiders about as well, so they will take a while to kill that Blade Master, especially with sort of almost 9 armor at this point. And Grubby continuing to creep actually. Looks like Like comes in but doesn't manage to get the creep, or actually the item. It's only a Cloak of Shadows though, so it's not really worth too much. But Like actually revealing himself, trying to take down this one Spirit Wolf, and it looks like he will be able to. No, he doesn't. Grubby doesn't manage to get into the creep, so Like does take it down, and Like with a very late bestiary here, this is pretty disastrous for him at this point. Obviously the getting the early Spirit Lodge is quite nice because there's so many things you want to dispel. There's Hex, there's Spirit Link if it comes, there's wolves, and then also they do magic range damage, which is really nice against the towers and the grunts and stuff. But such a bestiary is really quite a problem. And Grubby now with his Kodo out, I imagine he'll be going for a push fairly soon, and we can see the peons are now coming in, and considering I don't think he doesn't have any Spirit Walkers, so they will probably be coming in for just sort of a little bit of extra support in sort of a really tricky push. And obviously it is very tricky to push against a Blade Master when you have 2 intelligence, intelligence and a agility hero, but the agility hero only has 500 health, so really it's basically like having 200 and 2 intelligence heroes at the point. Sorry, I apologize for that. But Grubby now actually getting a illusion of this raider, and just running it in. I think Like's not convinced by that at all, and he does just dispel it just to get rid of it quickly. And another illusion being used now on the Shadowhunter, and Grubby looks like doesn't really want to push in if he can't get the good positioning here on Like, and Like's playing very well actually and keeping good positioning, bringing out his peons immediately, even though he probably could use a bit extra lumber, and actually he's now bringing them back to lumber just because he Like presumably thinks that there's not going to be another push coming in for a little while at least. And what I'm going to another wand of illusion for Grubby now. So actually 7 charges in total of illusions for Grubby. You can make a lot of fake units with that. Probably be nice to go for things like fake raiders, things that will be high priority targets and will definitely be focused. Maybe some fake Kodus as well. It's pretty nice because they have high hit points, and if you can run them out front, and like will get really confused as to which one's real and which one to try and dodge his units away from. And Grubby now coming in for another push here, and one fake Shadow Hunter, not confusing like I think like worked it out, and actually some fake Kodos now coming in for Grubby, and on top of that we're going to have to see if he uses the rest of his charger. Yeah, he's creating a fake Raider, fake Grunt, and actually another fake Grunt, but Dispel being used by like immediately to get rid of those fake those 3 fake ones, but there's 3 more fake ones in the back as well that he needs to be careful of. Grubby meanwhile using a Scroll of Protection, a really interesting choice. I guess he just wanted that extra armor because he is 2-0 upgraded on his grunts and raiders at this point, and Grubby now with his one real Kodo beast is actually eating the grunt now, and so that will reveal to like which one's the true one. And actually Grubby putting up 1 tower now, but the rest of his peons seem to be happy just sort of attacking random units, and like now with his very nearly eating something with his Kodo there, and Grubby finally hitting level 3 actually on his Farseer, and immediately getting some more Feral Spirits out, and Grubby continuing to use Chain Lightning actually to pretty good effect,